All right, everybody, just past mile 24 on the path to Boardwalk. Gonna soak it all in. I'm even took up my headphones, so no video for the last couple miles. Starting to get starting to feel the emotions. Buckle up a little bit, just because of all the fundraising and doing this in honor of my sister. So, also last full marathon. I'm never doing a marathon again, which I already decided before this, but I don't know how people do this every year. But yeah, so anyway, I'm just gonna soak it in. We'll have a full wrap up of the Dopey when I get home. All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh no, that doesn't work either. There we go. Hey everybody, it's Greg from Park Journey. Hope you're all doing all right. So, as a lot of you know, I'm running the Dopey Challenge here. 4 weeks today is the half marathon. Crazy. So I'm going to be doing a vlog of everything while I'm in Florida. Try to document. I've been wanting to do Dopey for like 10 years, so I wanted to make sure that I document everything. So I'm basically now, this is December 14th. So this weekend is my last kind of long stretch of runs and walks. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about training for the Dopey. If you've done a marathon, half marathon, training for the Dopey is very, very different. If you're using the Galloway plan, which is run walk, there's training plans out there. Personally, I kind of use Galloway because I have asthma. So I have to I have to walk. Although there are some days that I start running and I feel great and I can run 20 miles without stopping. But most of the time, I need to do a run walk. So I usually do, right now, what I'm typically doing is mile warm up, run, and then I'll do a quarter mile run, quarter mile walk, alternate. Seems to be working pretty good. So I'm hoping that that'll be my kind of Dopey strategy, at least for the half and the full. Now, as I said, this is kind of like my last weekend of prep, long prep. So I got a couple 5, 6, 7 mile runs in there, but this is the last weekend where I'm doing like 4 in a row. So Thursday I did my 3 mile run, which is my typical weekday run. Yesterday I did a 5 mile run. Today I'm doing a 12 mile walk. I think I'm about 4.5 miles in right now. And then tomorrow I do a 15 mile run. And that's the 4 days that kind of simulates, quote unquote, the Dopey. Obviously not quite as crazy. So my strategy for Dopey right now is 5K is not timed. I'm walking a 5K. I'm not even, hi Bunny. Bunny's running around the trail. I am not even thinking about running during the 5K. So the strategy is basically to have enough energy to finish the marathon on the Sunday, right? So very different than your normal marathon, half marathon training. The 10K, what I'll probably do, my strategy right now is to run the first mile and a half, 2 miles, like before you get into Epcot, and then walk the rest. Just to kind of get the legs moving, so to speak. The half, my thought is I'm going to do my run walk. I'll do my first mile, my run walk when I'm outside of the parks, and then when I'm in the parks, I'm gonna walk, enjoy it, etc., etc. And the full kind of the same thing. I'll do the first mile, with the World Showcase, and then my run walk outside of the parks, and then walk when I'm in the parks. And then basically my ultimate goal is to be far enough ahead of the balloon ladies that I have enough time to ride Everest when I'm at Animal Kingdom. Because obviously that's something you don't get to do during a marathon ever. So that's kind of my goal, is to have enough cushion. Ooh, nice sunrise coming up there. Not enough cushion to be able to ride Everest. So that's the ultimate goal. Obviously the ultimate goal is to finish. So right now, like I said, I'm doing my walk, 16 minutes a mile, which is what you want for Dopey. You have to finish 10K, half and full, average pace of 16 minutes per mile. Obviously, if you're in a higher corral, then you get a little bit more of a buffer. I don't know my corral at this time because I did not submit a time. So I could be in the very last corral, which would suck, would not give me much of a buffer. But anyway, that's kind of my training right now. Yeah, so I think the other thing that I'm probably most concerned about right now is waking up at 2:30 in the morning every day, which is 11:30 p.m. California time, which is typically, around the time I kind of go to sleep. So that's going to be an adjustment. So the other thing that we're doing is my wife is obviously coming, but we're doing a little different because work and other things. So basically, I have to be there the first day of the expo because I'm running the Dopey. So you're running the Dopey, you have to be there the first day of the expo. So basically what I'm doing is I'm flying out the day before the expo. I'm actually spending a night at Universal, so I can hopefully get some night rides on Velocicoaster because park closes at 7. It gets dark, 5:30. I've never ridden it. It's my number one coaster. I've never ridden it at night, so fingers crossed. And then obviously early entry at Universal. So I'm going to spend the morning at Universal. There's a virtual queue for the merchandise. Honestly, most of the stuff that people clamor for the virtual queue stuff, it doesn't interest me. So from what I've heard from people that have done it, if you don't want the merchandise, don't bother going to the expo right when it opens in the morning. Go in the afternoon. So I'm actually planning on going about between 4 and 5 to the expo. It's open until 8 that night. In addition to that, as a lot of you know, I'm running for the American Cancer Society, was raising money. So we ordered cheer stuff for my wife, and the coordinator won't be there at the expo until between 5 and 7. So that works. So basically what we're doing is I'm flying in Tuesday, expo Wednesday. I'm staying at the All-Stars. We have a beach club. I'm not staying at a beach club by myself. There's no point. So I'm doing All-Star movies. I've never stayed in All-Star, so kind of looking forward to it. I'll do the 5K and the 10K without my wife here. That's, whatever. That's easy. Obviously where I really need... God, that's a beautiful sunset. Or sunrise, excuse me. Wow. Look at that. Southern California, baby. Can't beat it. Anyway. So she'll fly in on Friday after the 10K. I'll move over to Beach Club, and then she'll be there for the half and the full. We're still trying to figure out best places for her to see me based on my schedule pace, my planned pace. But obviously that'll be all a part of this. So we'll share all of, my times. There'll probably be multiple videos. So we'll kind of share it from the perspective of me as the runner, and then her as the spectator, and all that. So stay tuned. Next 3 seconds from now, I'll be in Florida. Good morning, everybody. It is finally here. It is Expo Day for the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend, Dopey Challenge, ready to go. I'm here at Aventura at Universal Orlando. I flew in yesterday. I decided to spend the night here at Aventura. I wanted to get a night ride on Velocicoaster. It's my favorite coaster. I wanted to get a night ride. I'm going to head over for early entry in a little bit here. It's about 6:30 right now. Went and got my coffee, ready to have my coffee. Going to walk over about 7, get in line for early entry at Islands of Adventure. So the plan today is basically I'm going to hang out here at Universal Orlando till about 12 or 1, do morning at Islands. Velocicoaster I'll try to do Hagrid's right when they open. Hopefully it's not too cold. Spider-Man, but just, real chill. I'm not pushing it at all. And then I'll head over to studios and do, E.T. E.T. was closed when we were here in May, so I'm looking forward to that. Men in Black, Mummy, just my favorites, kind of thing. And maybe some pictures of Rip Ride Rocket. I am not riding it. I am not about to hurt my back on that thing right before, the Dopey Challenge. So anyway, the plan is, after I leave here about, noon, 1 o'clock, I'm going to do some grocery shopping. Hopefully my room at All-Star Movies will be ready by that time. I'm there for the next 2 nights, and then we're at Beach Club for the week after that, for the rest of the Dopey, and then a few days after for a little runcation. So I'll be at the Expo later on this afternoon. I am going to do the virtual queue as well, so I'll be able to report on how that went. With the virtual queue, people have said that I don't need it if I'm going in the afternoon, but I don't want to take any chances. So I'll try and grab a virtual queue anyway. But yeah, so it's finally here, ready to go. I've got all my throwaway clothes for the weather. It's supposed to be really cold in the mornings, which is perfect for me. I love running in the cold. But it gets cold in the crowd, so I've got throwaway sweats, throwaway hoodies, even backup throwaway shoes. So I think I anticipated about 25% of my luggage that I brought is not making it home with me, which is great because I'll have, 6 new shirts and 6 new medals and anything else that we acquire while we're here for the next 9 days now. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll be at the Expo in 3, 2, 1. Be sure to use hashtag WPW Marathon and hashtag RunDisney when posting throughout the race weekend. Follow. All right, everybody, so I'm leaving the Expo for the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. Got all my shirts, got some merchandise. I think I have 10 new shirts, which is insane. I don't buy a lot of stuff, but I'm only doing this once. Anyway, I think I was still, I'd done research and know people that have done this in the past. I think I was still very unprepared for how insane this is, how many lines there are compared to the Disneyland races. I was also wholly unprepared for what an absolute party this event is. There's like, buy this beer cup and you get cheaper beer after each race for the Dopey. It was like $13. I haven't had a drink in like a month and a half. And I had 1 beer. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll sleep good tonight. So to wrap up the Expo, here is some of the merchandise that I got. I went to the Expo in the afternoon, was able to find the Dopey Challenge finisher, tech shirt, and the marathon finisher, short sleeve, tech shirt, and then the half marathon. I wanted to get that one because it's 25th. And also Donald is my favorite character. So there's those 3. And then I also got one of the marathon baseball jerseys. A friend of mine got this for me in the morning, thankfully, because when I went in the afternoon, they were gone. So the marathon jersey, which I really, really like, and it fits very well. And also the marathon weekend hat. I also got the coffee mug, but I don't want to unwrap it. So it'll make it home next week. Hey everybody, so just a quick wrap up on our Expo video. So as you can see, I didn't take as much video at the Expo as I was probably planning to originally. There was just so many lines. So there's the line that I showed, that was the line to get your bib. There's another line to get all of your shirts, and then there's another line to get into buy the merchandise. Now speaking of merchandise, if you are going to any Run Disney Expo for any race on day one, get the virtual queue, because they were not actually even letting anybody in to buy merchandise that didn't have a virtual queue. It doesn't matter what time you get. My return time was at 10:30 and I didn't get in there till probably about 3:30 to buy my merchandise. They don't care as long as you have that virtual queue. That's all they care about. The other thing I will mention is the tech shirts that they give you for free. I'm not the biggest fan of them. There's only been a few that I actually liked from past Disneyland races that I've done. I just don't like the way they fit. I don't like the texture of them. So I'm probably going to make a blanket out of them along with some other Run Disney shirts that I don't wear. But the three that I bought, the half, the full, and the Dopey that I showed there at the end of the video, absolutely love them. They fit great. I actually got double X. I probably only needed to get XL, to be honest with you, just because they actually fit. So I wish I would have tried them on at the Expo. I probably would have gone a size down. They're a little big, but once I wash them and dry them, I'm sure they'll tighten up a little bit, which is fine. But yeah, so the ones that you buy are so much better. For the price that Disney charges, the tech shirts should be better as far as I'm concerned. I've ran some local races that have fantastic tech shirts that I wear on my daily runs constantly. They've been washed probably hundreds of times and they still hold up. Run Disney ones, the tech shirts, they tend to shrink a lot, the ones they give you for free. So keep that in mind as you are registering for your Run Disney race. All right, thanks for watching part one. We'll be back probably next week with our 5K, 10K video. Take care.